right, hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of our solutions overview presented by Jet Global Data Technologies. My name is Anthony Bonaducci. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at Jet. And in part 2 here, we're going to be reviewing analytics, the Jet Analytics component of the product suite. Now we saw, if you watched the part 1 solution, we saw the reporting capabilities. And so we're going to skip over that and just jump right into the business intelligence and analytics side of our solution. This is our most popular solution, but real quick, just to reintroduce the company, if you didn't watch part 1, we are the people that make it easy to get your data out of your database, and we've been helping folks with that for over 17 years at this point. We're really good at what we do, and because of that, we've amassed about 14,000 companies and more than 210,000 users that rely on Jet every single day for their business intelligence, analytics, budgeting, and reporting needs. So just to introduce the product suite again, in case you didn't review the first piece, we have Jet Reports. That's the real-time reporting capability. It's basically direct to database reporting, and the common medium to return the information in is Excel by design, because that's where most business users live. Today, what we're going to explore is Jet Analytics, which is our full data warehouse and cube solution. It's a real true business intelligence solution, and it helps manage the actual business intelligence process behind the scenes as well. So we'll discuss that as we go through. We also have Jet Budgets, which we're going to cover in part 3 of this series. And then the Jet Hub is kind of the glue that holds all of these solutions together. So we'll take a peek at the hub again in part 2 today. All right, so what I want to do before we jump into the product, though, is really just lay a context for this piece of the presentation. Business intelligence or analytics is one of those funny things, you know, you ask 10 different people what it is, they all say they know what it is, but then you end up with 10 different answers. So I like to standardize this piece of the presentation by kind of laying out the business intelligence fundamentals. So what you see here on the screen is a true business intelligence process, right? We're going from raw data to optimized data that's easy to consume by the business and by the business users. So over here on the left, you can think of this as your NAV or Business Central database. It's got tons of data in a complex format of tables and fields. They all have specific relationships, to each other. And you can see, Business Central or NAV out of the box, they've got about 1,300-ish tables, more than 22,000 fields. And most business users really don't know the data that well. They don't know where everything lives, and they certainly just don't know that data structure. So it becomes kind of painful and hard for a lot of business users to truly report off the data because they don't really understand the actual data source itself. So what we do in a business intelligence process is we take that data and we pull it into a data warehouse. A data warehouse actually stores the information by subject matter. So instead of 1,300 tables, maybe you have 7 tables in your data warehouse. And maybe those tables are sales, finance, inventory, accounts payable, accounts receivable, so on and so forth. Okay, but it's a lot less clutter and a lot easier for the business user to understand. Now that sales section of my data warehouse, that might pull from 15, 20 different tables from one database, or it might pull from 10 different databases. It might pull from Dynamics NAV, might pull from our CRM system, might pull from our warehouse management system, our shipping system, and all of that stuff is organized in one place. So the business users don't have to worry about where data lives and which systems and how to tie them all together, because that's really, really hard. So this solution does the heavy lifting for you. Now, a lot of BI tools will stop right here. They'll just say, we've got a data warehouse. You can kind of consider that business intelligence. At Jet, we want to make it as easy as possible. So we actually push this into what we call a set of cubes. Now, cubes just take all this information. They still organize them by subject matter. So you'll have a sales cube, finance cube, so on and so forth. But in the sales cube, every numerical value and every piece of context is already laid out and pre-calculated in every way possible. So if you wanted to see sales by customer, you've got that. If you wanted sales by company, you have that. If you want profit by location, that's all pre-calculated, sitting there waiting to be viewed. So users can truly slice and dice, which is what they're oftentimes looking for in a business intelligence or analytics solution. So last couple things on this. First off, at Jet, we actually pre-packaged all of this for you. So for each of the Dynamics products, we have a pre-built data warehouse and a pre-built set of cubes. That's going to give you 90% of what you need for your Dynamics NAV BI project or your Business Central BI project or your GP project or your AX project out of the box. This stuff installs in about 2 hours, so you're up and running with 90% of your BI project same day. Okay. Most BI companies cannot say that same thing. They're going to have to build all of this from scratch, and it's going to take them a long time, and it's going to be expensive. But what we realized after a couple hundred of these deals is that 90% of the work we did for customer A, we had to repeat for customer B and for customer C. So why would we build that all from scratch when we could just bundle it as part of our offering and give it to our users at no additional cost? So that's what we do. Okay. The other nice part here, and this is not something that's exactly relevant to the business user, but it's very relevant to your business and to your purchase decision, is that we have a tool called the Jet Data Manager that automates this process. It's all built off the Microsoft stack, but it allows us to customize your data warehouse, build cubes, things like that, 5 times faster than traditional BI methodology. We don't have to do any SQL coding. And what that really boils down to, the reason I want to mention this, is it means it's faster time to ROI, it's less expensive, and there's a whole lot less risk involved in this process because we don't have some person coding a bunch of SQL code, which can break, get entered incorrectly, and then you have data integrity issues. You have to go through data validation. So the key takeaways here is we're going from a lot of data to only a little, from everything to relevant only, from complex to simple, and from slow to fast when it comes to the performance around your reports. You're also getting a pre-built data warehouse, pre-built cubes, and you have the ability to customize that stuff 5 times faster, bring in additional data sources, build additional cubes, so on and so forth. Now, if you want an aerial view of what this looks like, you can see your different databases get pulled into the Jet Data Manager. They run through some execution packages and some data cleansing rules. They push into a data warehouse and then a set of cubes. And then the fun part about once you have that, BI backend, once you have a data warehouse and cubes, is it's up to you as the user how you want to consume the information. Do you want to use Excel? Do you want to use Power BI? How about Jet's Excel add-in? Do you want to use Tableau? Do you want to use Target? It's up to you, but all of those tools need this piece, and that's what we specialize in here at Jet. We specialize in the data warehouse and cube creation. So let's see this in action. I'm going to pop into Excel, and I'm going to open up the Jet ribbon. So you can see Jet really is just Excel if you didn't see part 1 of this series. And up here at the top, we have a Jet ribbon that contains kind of our tool chest as far as design goes. So we have lots of different data sources, the ability to run reports, drill down, check if there's an error in my formula, lots of design tools depending on whether you're going direct to the database or to a set of cubes. And in this case, you see I'm going to go to the cubes. Now, if you watched part 1, you can use any of the different tools against a set of cubes, but I think what most people love about cubes is the ability to quickly get information, and there's no better way to do that than using a pivot table. If you don't like pivot tables, don't use them. Use the other tools. But I think when you see how much this shines with a pivot table, it's going to really click. So in our pre-built set of cubes, like we talked about for Dynamics NAV or Business Central, we have finance, inventory, payables, purchases, receivables, and sales. I can click on any of these cubes, and I'll just use sales because we have good sample data in there. But I'm going to just use the sales cube. And over here on the right, we can see, all the different measures, which are our numerical values, things like cost, profit, quantity, sales amount, etc. And then dimensions. And dimensions are the pieces that give those numbers relevance or context. So, bill to customer information, company information, date information, global dimensions from your database will pick up automatically. Item information, inventory information, locations, posting dates, salesperson, sell to customer. I could go on, and there's even more fields. This is literally the pre-built project you're going to get out of the box for Dynamics NAV or Business Central. And so, if you wanted to build a report right now, if your boss came in and said, build me something that shows sales, cost of goods sold, profit, and profit percent, show me that over time, by item category, by item, by salesperson, by location, by year, your head would be spinning, right? That's something you probably can't just crank out right away. Well, when you have the data warehouse and cubes and you have Jet Analytics, you really can actually build that right away because you'll just say, show me sales, show me cost, show me profit and profit percent, show me that, over time by item category. And cubes, what's nice, they give us hierarchies. So we don't just have to select item category and get item category. If we pick this one checkbox, we actually got item category, product group, and individual items. So I have that detail now. And if I want to see it by location and salesperson, maybe I just add those as slicers so I can slice and dice the data. And maybe I want to see it by year or something like that. So with a couple clicks, I can literally build out an extremely complex report in just a matter of seconds. And I can insert a visual and run away with this thing quickly. Now, this is just using Excel. There's other ways to build this or other ways to consume the information like we talked about. But I do want to point out before we move forward, on any of these numbers, another cool piece about analytics and using a data warehouse in cubes is I can drill down right here with a double click on any number and see the detail behind the transactions right here in Excel from multiple data sources. So if you had multiple pieces of information from multiple data sources that go into that number, you'll see all of it, versus with reporting, you can only drill into one data source. So you have a lot more visibility here behind the scenes. Now you can slice and dice and say, just show me this year or these 2 years, and your data is going to update as are all of your visuals. If you want to make this more of a dashboard, it's just a rinse and repeat of that process. You can see we have a dashboard page on this sample sales dashboard, and then each of these charts or pages, or sheets I should say, is just a report built the exact same way, right? In this one we selected year by quarter, we selected sales amount, profit, and profit percent. In this one, we did sales by salesperson. In this one, we did sales and profit by item category. And then all we did literally is copy the visuals onto one page, add some slicers, and we can slice and dice and say, just show me North America for 2014, just for our West Coast sales team. And we can see the data's updating instantly, slice and dicing, because it's all pre-calculated, sitting there waiting to be viewed. This lets you make better business decisions. Now, before we kind of wrap up, there's 2 things I want to show you. One is in the Jet Hub, how you can access dashboards built with the Jet Dashboard Builder, which is just a drag and drop interface, same kind of style as far as the design goes, but really nice, clean visual dashboard. So if you don't like Excel visualization, this is probably a good place for you to go because we've got lots of clean, like I said, nice dashboarding functionality that's more focused on the visual aspects. Things like performance tiles where you can set thresholds. So if we're way above our budget, if we're over budget, maybe they turn red. If we're revenue's looking really good, maybe they're green. If we're close to our goals, they're yellow. On any of this, you can blow it up, slide it around, slice and dice. You can do this on your smartphones, tablets. You can filter anything with web browser access so you can see your information. So really nice, clean visualization tool. The last piece I'll show you is just Power BI. That's a very popular solution from Microsoft, but what Power BI really lacks is a data warehouse or cube, a true BI backend. It's really good about visualizing information, but if your data is not any good, that's not going to really help you get very far. And so what we recommend, what our partners recommend, is to come in here and basically use Power BI on top of Jet's data. So you can come in here, click Get Data, and what that's going to do is pull up a list of all the data sources. If you've ever tried to go direct to your data source, good luck. You're going to have thousands of tables and even more if you've got multiple companies. So instead, what you should do is get a cube set up or a data warehouse or something like that. You can tell it where it lives, and you can pop in and grab, for example, some NAV cubes, and you can use Jet's pre-built project. Let's look at sales. Now Power BI truly becomes usable because all of a sudden we have data and it's organized, it makes sense, it's named in a way that makes sense to the business users, and it's truly built to start reporting. So we can come in here and say, show me sales by, company, and show me, how about profit by salesperson, okay? And how about, we'll take that and throw it up at the top, and how about we want to see our most profitable customers? Where should we be focusing our efforts? Let's see, profit by sell to customer location. So if I want to get my salespeople on the road, this is definitely where I'll start. Let's throw that on to the globe so I can see that visually. This is how Power BI comes to life. Then I can truly slice and dice and see my information. All of this is being driven by Jet Analytics. So I hope that was informative. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can see our contact information right here on the slide. Also, obviously, feel free to talk to your partner. And we will have a part 3 that I'll be recording here in the next couple days. So keep an eye out for that. And that will be focusing on Jet budgets and the Jet Hub as well. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day.